everybody, it is Liz with Liz Art Finds. I am a part-time reseller on eBay and Niknax, and this week's video we're going to go through an estate sale that I went to, which was a very specific estate sale, and we'll talk about that. It was my very first one. We'll talk about that in just a minute. I only had a few things that sold this week. On eBay I sold 4 things, and I sold 1 over on Niknax. On eBay, the first thing that sold was this little tin coin bank clock thing, Big Ben. I had paid $2.99 for it. It sold for $9. I sold this tunic top, which was so pretty. I paid $7.49 for it. It sold for $24.99. I sold this pair of shoes, which I just thought were so pretty. I paid $8.84 for them. They sold for $39. So that was a nice little profit. This Nike golf hat sold. I ended up not paying for this because it was somehow included in one of my shopping things, and it doesn't look like I was charged for it. And it sold for $17.99. And then over on eBay, this beautiful crystal leaf dish, I paid $1.99 for, and it sold for $8. So my total profit for the week, after excluding the fees and shipping and all the things, my total profit was $61.90 for the week. Not bad. Again, part-time is good. So let me tell you about this estate sale. I've never been to one, and I've been doing a lot of searching online for cats because, as you know, I'm doing a cat show mid-May. I don't have the exact date. Next week I will have the exact date for you. I'm debating between 3 different dates right now, and I will have it locked down. But my goal was to have 100 cats to sell, and I had 70. So I've been doing a lot of online searching for cats, and apparently the algorithm found out that's what I was looking for, and what popped up was an estate sale in my town, like 10 minutes from my house, and the woman collected cats. So it was a cat estate sale, which was so cool. And you know, I watch a lot of other videos with people that go out shopping for resale, and I assumed that you have to get there really, really early and pick a number, and then it's going to be a mob. So I got there an hour early, and I was number 2. And I sat in my car for 45 minutes before the next person came. So about 10 minutes before the house opened, people started getting out of their cars and going and getting in line. It was very well run. It was by a big company, and they tout fair market value. So most of their stuff was marked retail. So this was not about a huge profit. For me, it was just hopefully doubling my money overall on the whole sale. But there were a couple that they missed. So we'll talk about that. I'm going to go through all the cats. So if you're not a cat person, maybe this isn't the video for you. Or you can just stick around to learn about all the cats and like the different makers and yeah, and I got 3 things that were not cats, so we'll talk about those too. But yeah, I wanted to just do this as a separate video. I do have other things that I got this week, and at the end of the video, I'm going to show you a couple things I got at auction that are for me. Well, one's for me. The other one will be for my paperweight sale, but I have to show them off because they're amazing, but they're not technically included in this video. Well, let's get into the cats. So let's actually start with the non-cat things. I have everything on the table in front of me here, so everything is really small, which was great. My total spend was $115 on all of the things, including the taxes. It was like $121.90, okay? What I think everything's worth, I'm just going to give you the ballpark right at the beginning here. I think it's around $253, so like I said, 2x is kind of where we're playing here. But some of the things were really spectacular, so let's get into it. So the first thing I saw was a Swarovski prism paperweight. Now, Am I 100% sure it's Swarovski? I am not. There are some listed online that are the exact same thing with the exact same bottom. I thought the bottom looked different, like Swarovski doesn't usually have, or at least the Swarovski I have doesn't usually have that felt bottom. And then there's no mark. And Swarovski stuff, all my Swarovski stuff is marked. But I did see one online that it is this exact piece, and it has the etched Swarovski logo down here. So I can't say for sure that it's Swarovski, but it is made by whomever made the Swarovski one, because it's literally identical. So it's really cool. It's got this prism cut, and such that when you look at it from the top down, you get to see all of the colors of the rainbow. So it's really cool. I paid $5 for it. These sell online 18 to 24. I think even without the Swarovski logo on it, 18 to 20-ish is still a good amount for this. This will probably go in my paperweight sale, which will be end of May, beginning of June, over on Niknax.net. Okay, the next thing I saw was in the bedroom, and it was this amazing perfume. And I just picked it up and threw it in the, they give you like a little pail, like a kid's basket kind of thing. And, I mean, it did get a little more crowded as the day went on. So when I got up into the bedrooms, I needed to just grab and run. All the cats, most of the cats were in the basement, and it was row upon row, table upon table, probably, oh gosh, 200, 300 cat figurines, and I only got 20. There were some that were just way overpriced. There were some that were just not anything that I think people would want to buy. Like, they just didn't, I don't know, they didn't speak to me. So anyway, I picked up the things that did. Perfume. Is this Murano? I don't think so. Now, there are a lot of similars online that say Murano, but the things that make me think it's not, it's very thin, which I guess could be, but this thing here is hard as rock. Like, and you can see at the end there's a plastic piece inside. It doesn't squeeze, so this doesn't work. So it is a decorative piece, even though it has the thing inside, right, as if it were an actual perfume. So I don't know if maybe it just with age got hard, if it can be replaced, or if this is just intended to not work or work a different way than what I'm trying to do. Because when I squeeze it, it's literally like squeezing a rock. So is it a beautiful decor piece? Yes, it is. Now, this was marked $9. I think it was my most, well, no, it wasn't. It was my almost most expensive. I have 2 cats I paid more for. But I know that I have some customers that will love this. So I picked it up for $9. As far as value, since I'm not going in order here, it might take me a minute to find, $9. So it's worth, I wrote here 24 plus, and then I said if it's Murano, they're selling over 100. And other art glass, the new ones are around 48. So I think 24 is a reasonable guess for what this will sell for. It may go higher if it sells during an auction and people get really excited about it. So I'm saving this. This will be in my glass show, which will be end of July, the next big glass show. Okay, the other thing I picked up that was not a cat was this gorgeous trinket box. It's got a little bird on the front. It's hand painted. People love trinket boxes these days, and I'm actually thinking about putting together a trinket box live sale. I've started pulling all my trinket boxes together, and I feel like I have like 20 of them, so I think I might be able to, it might even be more, I might be able to do a show. But this is signed, Ceramica de Coimbra, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, hand painted in Portugal. So that's the back again. Again, this is the front. Super cute, good condition. I paid $5 for it, and I think it's worth 12 to 15. So, or more. Some of them sell quite a bit more. So those were the 3 non-cat items that I picked up. So now let's look at the cats. They only had maybe 10 cats that they pre-showed to get people to come in the door. And one of them was this Amy Lacombe cat. I love the Amy Lacombe cats. This was marked at full retail. I picked it up anyway. I think I can sell it for full retail, possibly $1 or $2 more. But it's one of those things that's so unique that I think it will help draw people to the sale, to my sale, just like it helped draw people to the estate sale. Okay, so I picked it up for that reason. It does have a little flaw that was under the price sticker. They always do that. So I didn't notice that. It's from 2002. Anico Creations. It has an item number, which is cool. The item number might have been a sticker that someone put on after, so I'm not sure if that was part of the original thing or if that was part of another sale. But it's cool. It's got this little flower on the head. It's got its little whiskers. It's got painted flowers all over it. It's just a really pretty cat. So I paid $18 for it. This was the most expensive thing I picked up. And again, they sell $18 to $24, but I picked it up because I know people will love it. I know certain people that will love it. And I think it's just a great cat to add to my cat sale because it's different from all my other cats. So I was excited about that. The other one I did the exact same thing with. Now let's see where I put it. Where did you put it? Ruh-roh. Here it is. Artesania Rinconada. So this is Artesania Rinconada. It's a cat. It's amazing. Their work is amazing. So this is made in Uruguay. And they're collectible, and it's signed. It's got its AR right here. Somebody has an item number on the bottom, which I'll probably take off. Yeah, I'll take that off. Okay, so yes, cat 15. They go 15 to 18-ish. So again, this is another one that will be in my promotional materials for this show because it's so awesome. So excited about that one. Then I picked this up because it was different, right? I've never seen anything like it. And it's got googly eyes. I don't know if you can see them moving. Okay, so it's hand painted. The ones I see online are slightly different. It's kind of got a matte finish. It's got really cool gold toned, like sparkly gold claws. If that's what you call them. Yeah, I think that's right. But anyway, he's a little spooky. The googly eyes did it for me. He was only $4. I have absolutely no idea how much he's worth. I wrote down 8 to 15 plus. It just depends again on who's in the room the day that I decide to sell this, but this will be in my cat show. It was cool, and I couldn't leave it for $4. The next one, I am going in order here, what I wrote down. The next one is one of the surprise pieces that they undervalued. And I'm really excited they did. And it's one that was actually in their initial stuff. And it's one that is another reason I went to the show. So there's this. Now, I don't know if you guys know what this is. I'm going to hold that up close so you can see there's a label right there at the bottom. It's not focusing very well. And it's also signed or engraved at the bottom. It's not focusing. It says Moser, y'all. Now, this cat came in a lot of different colors, okay? I've seen 2 of these online, if I look at WorthPoint. One sold in 2016 for $29.99. One sold in 2022 for like $129 or $122, something like that. I don't know what it's really worth. The other colors, some of them are, selling in the 60s. I think 60s is more reasonable than 120s, but it is fairly rare from what I can tell as far as what's out there. It's a really cool kind of flat cat. it's just this really cool thing. So it's Moser, and I wrote down a bunch of stuff. Now we've already talked about Moser because I've had Moser vases before. So they started in 1857, which is so cool. So the guy was 23 years old when he started the company, Ludwig Moser. Let's see, do I even have where it's from? This is terrible. I have all these things about where he exhibited. I think it's Czechoslovakia. I think it's Bohemian glass. I wouldn't quote me on that because I obviously did not do a ton of research on this right now, because I know I have it in another video. Oh my gosh, yeah, it was Czech. So anyway, this is amazing. I paid, I think, $5. No, definitely, I paid $5 for it. Okay, it's at least worth $35. I think it's going to be a lot more. So this is another one that's just super exciting because you don't see a lot of them out there. So that was worth my trip over to the estate sale. Let's see what's next. I've got another Cecile cat. So I have one already. Now this is polymer clay, and this is different than the other one. The other one I have, I can't remember the exact pose, but this is, it's like it's lapping up milk, although it does look like little marshmallows because I'm assuming that's bubbles from lapping up the milk. It's signed Cecile on the bottom. And it doesn't have a date. And what's fun is it's stamped twice and then it's also signed. Okay. Now the artist is Cecile Baird, and she did, we've talked about her before. She did a lot of polymer clay stuff and then flipped a switch and is doing fine art and printmaking and things like that now. So if you look her up online, you're not going to find her making more cats. This is a former iteration of what she was doing as her craft. So anyway, they're just really cool. Just a lot of expression, just really, really detailed. I love these so much. I paid $7 for it. They're worth 10 to 15, you know, not a ton more than what I paid for it, but again, just super cute. All right, then I got this guy. Now this one, I couldn't find a lot about. If you image search it, there's a lot of similar fat cats. This is a calico cat. I couldn't tell you if this is stone or resin. It's a hard substance of some sort. It's got a little curly tail there. It's definitely hand painted. It's not signed, which is odd because, I mean, look at those eyes. It's got a great expression. I paid $4 for it. I'm assuming he's an 8 to 12 as far as value, just because he's so cool, but I could not find the exact maker on him. Then I found this cat, and I picked him up because he's different, right? I'm trying to get a variety of cats. He's got kind of an odd face. I believe he's Japan, but maybe not. It does say Reeves Collection. There is a mark above that, and then it says Reeves Call. So I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure. He could have come from any country at all. I just don't know much about him, and I couldn't find anything on Reeves Collection. So I'm going to call him 8 to 12. I paid $7 for him, so not a ton of profit in him as far as I know. Then I got these little shelf sitter cats. So these are so cute. They sit like, I think the perfect place would be like on the corner of a computer screen, a computer monitor. They just sit on a corner, and it's just these adorable little wooden cats. I couldn't find anything like them online at all. I only paid $3 for this. It may have been a homemade piece. I mean, it was definitely homemade by someone. It's not signed, so I'm not sure if it was, you know, the lady's husband or friend that just gave it to her as a gift since she collected cats. I have no idea on value on this, at least $6, possibly more. I wrote 6 to 8. It's just a guess. I really just don't know. All right, the next glass cat I found was this one. And this says Mantorp, Sweden. So that one, uh-oh, did I lose a piece of... hang on one second. There it is. Mantorp is a Swedish glassworks known for its unique and high-quality glassware, including vases, bowls, and decorative items, located in Mantorp, Sweden. And they also have a sustainable program where they basically they are environmentally conscious. So this is the Mantorp cat. He's in great shape. He's blue. These guys, I paid $6. There's so much variation online on these. They've sold as little as $6 and as high as $65. There are some that are neodymium. There was one neodymium one that sold like over $100. But the other colors and stuff, 6 to 65. I think 15 to 18 on him. Maybe a little more. We'll just kind of have to see how that one goes. But definitely worth more than the $6 I paid for him. Then there's this one. I picked it up because look at this face. He just looks so like scared. Like he just looks like, oh my gosh, y'all, you know, it's that look. The company it's stamped on the bottom, and it's actually, there's a stamp here too, MW85. And so this is 1985. And the company is Marble Works Handcrafted Collectibles from Cleveland, Ohio. So it's a company called Marble Works. I don't think this is marble. I think it's some sort of resin, but I could be wrong. So anywho, this guy, I paid $4 for him. I think he's 8 to 12-ish. Could be 6 to 12. I don't know. I'm going to skip this one, save him to the end because that was my big find. All right, then there was this little Sculpey clay cat, super cute, just kind of a little sphere. Unfortunately, the price sticker, when I took the price sticker off, it also took off some paint. So I don't know if I can fix this, so he may not be worth too much at all at this point. But he was really cute. If he were not broken, I would have said he was $6 to $8, and I paid $3. Then there are these little kissing cats. Is that these guys? Hang on. K. George. Yeah. All right. K. George, little cats. I guess one is, I guess they're just nuzzling. They're so cute. So it's signed on the bottom. Come on, why do you not focus? It says 1986 K. George, Taiwan. And there's some other stuff written, but it's very, very small. Okay. So I paid $3. I think they're probably 8 to 15. Now there are a bunch of them all over the internet. So I think that's a reasonable number. All right, then there's this guy, little black cat with gold paint. He's some sort of a lacquer, like I'm not sure what it's lacquer over. It's not paper mache. It's very light, but it's solid as well. So I'm not really sure what the material is on this guy, and I couldn't find anything like it because when I look it up, it brings up Limoges. There's a similar Limoges cat, and this is not that. So I don't really know. I paid $4 for him. I'm going to call him 8 to 12 unless I learn anything different. There was this painted ornament piece that was marked $2, but it doesn't look like she charged me for. So yeah, he's probably only worth $2. So I don't think we're gonna have a big profit there. This piece was gorgeous. Look at this. This is a calico cat painted on a rock. It's signed S. Philpott, Philpott. I could not find anything anywhere by S. Philpott. It also looks like the homeowner wrote a note on the back. It says Las Vegas 10/5/94. So they purchased it in Vegas, is my guess, in 1994. So nice vintage cat paperweight. I think that one will sell really well. I paid $4 for it. The similars are in the 18 to 24 range. I think that's reasonable. I also picked up this pin. They had a few pieces of jewelry, but most of them were overpriced for what they were. This piece was $4. It is Danecraft. It's worth about 8 to 12. It's just a really, what I liked about it is it was really subtle, and it was something that someone could wear even now. Like, it doesn't look really, really old, even though it's old. It's stood the test of time, and I just think I think it's a really pretty piece. So I haven't tried to polish it yet. I don't know if I will or if I won't. I'm not sure what the material is. All it says on it is copyright Danecraft. I think that's all it says. Yeah, that's all it says on the back. So, okay, there's that. Now I'm going to show you, other than some of the other things, this was the other one that was highly undervalued. This is antique. Well, it's vintage, possibly antique. This is cast iron. It is so heavy. The company is Hubley. Let's see if Hubley, sorry, Hubley, Hubley cat. Now, they made a lot of cast iron things. They are local-ish, so they were first incorporated in 1894 in Lancaster, Pennsylvania by John Hubley. The first Hubley toys appeared in 1909 and were made of cast iron, and they ranged from horse-drawn vehicles and different breeds of dogs to tractors, steam shovels, and guns, etc., etc. This was interesting. Their casting process involved several steps. For a particular toy, bookend, or doorstop, metal workers would first carve a wooden form or hammer out the basic design in metal. Then they would press the form into finely compacted sand to create an impression for molding. Cast iron heated to 3,000 degrees was poured into the sand mold, and when cooled, the form would pop out. And then they would sand and file away the rough edges, and the mold would be ready for mass production casting. So then painters would apply a base coat, usually white or cream. This is definitely a white one. And then it says sometimes black, to cast figures. And then colorists used a variety of hues, highlighting important details. Now, what's interesting about this, they made bigger ones with a little slit in the neck for a piggy bank. They made similar sized ones with a hole in the head people would put their pencil in. This one seems to be just decoration. Could be used with a dollhouse to, have the little cat. What's interesting about this one is the paint is still pretty well intact. You can still see the light blue. You can still see the eyes. There's a little bit of pink in the ears. It probably lost it's got a little pink around the nose and the mouth, but it's hard to see. But the ones that I found online that are similar have like big holes in the paint, like giant chunks out of the paint, and they still sold for good money. So I paid $5 for him, and a black one just like this, so this size little dude, just sold for $120. Most of them are in the 20 to 30 range, but one just sold like this in really, really bad condition for $25.99. So I think he's easily in the 30s or 40s and maybe more. So I'm not convinced I'm going to put him in my cat show. I may pull him out over to eBay. I got to think about it. Or I'll just start him at a higher price over on Niknax. But like, he's got the little locket around his neck. It's still in good shape. Like, it's good. So yeah, they underpriced this guy for $5. So that was exciting. So I think my two most valuable finds were these two. It was a fun estate sale. I would do it again. I need to find others that are like run by families and things like that. I mean, these guys, they do their research, so a lot of their things truly are right at retail, which isn't perfect for a reseller. But, you know, if you're collecting, or in this case, I'm trying to gather up a few extra things for my show, it was perfect. It was a perfect timing. It was so great. Now, I promised you at the beginning of the video I would show you a couple things that I got at auction this weekend. Okay, so the first thing is a Murano paperweight. What I love about this is their photos did not do it justice. So I only paid $41, and I mean, that may seem like a lot, but it's a heavy weight, it's a big weight, and it's really unique, okay? And it has its label. It's not signed, but it has its label. So it's got this latticino. I'm gonna hold this up close. Now, I'm not including this in my thumbnail or anything. We're just gonna do the estate sale. But since you guys watched till the end, I'm gonna show you a couple amazing things. So this paperweight, and then at the top, it has the Millefiori canes. So it's like this combination of the two styles of paperweight. And normally with the canes, they're like at the bottom. And in this one, the canes are at the top. They're laid in at the top. So, I mean, when they're pouring the weight, they're at the bottom. But in this particular style, they're at the top. So it's a really weird, unique thing. And I believe these were made for import. So there is the sticker. The sticker says, genuine Venetian glass from Murano, a decora, made in Italy, import. So it was made for the import market. Similars are listed online as Fratelli Toso. I don't know for a fact. There is definitely some similarity there. But this is exciting. This is really exciting because some of the ones online, and I didn't print out the stuff, but over $100 for sure. There were a couple over $200, but I mean, at least $65. But because it's so big compared to some of the other weights, some of the other Murano weights, there's a lot of potential for this one to sell pretty high. So this will be for my paperweight show, which again will be the end of July, I think. Beginning of July. Sometime in July, we'll do a paperweight show, and that will be there. And that again over on Niknax live sale. I am Liz Art Finds over there. Basically, I'm Liz Art Finds everywhere. And now I'm going to show you my thing, my favorite thing. Now, I bought this piece at auction for myself. I paid up. I would say I paid more than it's worth. However, it's got all its original paperwork and its original box, and it's so incredible that I don't think I paid more than it's worth. I actually think it's worth more than what I paid. I paid a lot, but check it out. I think this is the most beautiful piece of glass I've ever seen in my life. Now, this is Orient Flume. It's still stickered. I don't think, it's also signed around the bottom here. What does it say? 1979. It's signed on the part that caves in, so it's really hard to see. It looks like it has an item number, possibly initials. Like it looks like it says PR40 or something like that. But it's just so beautiful. All right, guys, hang on. There's a piece of paper in here. Okay, Orient Flume. And I do have the original box that it came in as well. All right, I'm gonna put this down for a second. And it has a registration number. it says registration number 1979 M40. Oh, maybe that's what it says in the bottom, 1979 M40. Duh. Description, something blue. Huh. It looks like it says Isisque. I don't know. I'll show it to you guys and you tell me what it says. Something blue with pulled tiger lilies and, oh, another word I can't read. I mean, I can read cursive, I just can't read this particular writing. So there's what it says, right? I'm so excited. I'm just so excited. So this will have a place of honor in my glass collection. It's just the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. So yeah, wanted to share that with you guys. I'm not selling this anytime soon. This is for me. But anyway, thanks so much for watching. Appreciate y'all. I will have a bonus video. It won't be this week. I'm going to have a video next Sunday. And then my guess is there'll be a video on Wednesday or Thursday, and then Sunday. And then I may even have another bonus video. I'm trying to get caught up on some things. And like I said, I wanted to do the estate sale as its own collection. So anyway, I hope that was a little bit of fun, just a little bit different. I mean, sort of a little bit different, mostly the same. But anyway, appreciate you guys watching. It's going to be a really interesting spring and summer. Next weekend is the Rest and Yard sale. After that is the DC Big Flea comes back again. And also the Galilee Church has their rummage sale. And there's just like a lot of the community yard sales are starting to happen, and things are waking up out there in the world. So I'm excited. And I look forward to seeing what we find. I'm hoping this year is as good as last year with some spectacular finds. We'll just see how it goes. Have a great week, everybody. Have a happy Easter, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.